Welcome to another episode of Game Tape. As always, I'm your host, Tony Ferrari, here for Elite Prospects. This week, I am very pleased to be joined by Luke Misa of the Mississauga Steelheads. How you doing today, Luke?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be fun to break down some tape with you in a little bit. But first, let's start with where you got your start in hockey. Who got you into the game and when did you start playing?
Well, I started playing probably when I was about 3 or 4, I'd say. Um, my cousins, they played they were a bit older than me and they played a lot growing up. They played in the GTHL. And then I as a young kid, I used to watch them and kind of practicing a bit with them as well. But I'd say like my parents were a huge help for me kind of get into the game. And yeah, it's been great so far.
Now, you and your brother are both having pretty good OHL seasons this year. His team's hosting the Memorial Cup. Does that give you a little bit of extra motivation to help Mississauga get there?
Well, yeah, it would be awesome playing against him in such a big stage. Yeah, it's super exciting for them just to be able to host a Memorial Cup. But yeah, that would be awesome if we could play against each other. So yeah, it definitely does.
Now, you and Michael, have you guys ever talked about playing in the NHL together one day, or the dream of going up against each other, or possibly playing with each other?
Well, that would be really cool. You know, it'd be a dream for both of us just to make it to the NHL and to be playing with each other. But at the same time, we're kind of just each focused on kind of where we're at right now with the teams we're playing on. But yeah, like just thinking about that would be really cool.
Now, speaking of where you're at, you're currently one of the top scorers in the OHL. You've been in the top 15 pretty much since the start of the season. What has been the biggest advancement in your game? Where do you think you've taken the biggest step since last year?
Well, yeah, I think just kind of having that third year or 2 years under my belt kind of gave me a lot of experience and just being able to kind of just use some of the skills that I have, like using my speed, kind of creating a lot using my playmaking. I think those two have really helped a lot, and just also being able to play with some of the line mates I have as well. You know, I think I've been playing with a bunch of different guys, and we all have pretty good chemistry on our team, so that's helped as well too.
Now, the Steelheads are moving from Mississauga to Brampton. It's not that far, but what was kind of your initial reaction to that announcement?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised, but you know, it's really exciting. I think it's not too far down the road, so it's not much of a change for a lot of us. Like a lot of everyone's kind of staying in the same billet houses and all that. But yeah, everyone's really excited. And yeah, just looking forward to how things turn out next year.
Now, the top prospects game just went down. What was your experience with that like?
Yeah, that was yeah, just a really cool experience being able to play against a lot of the top guys across the CHL. And also just getting to meet a lot of new guys as well was really cool, and it was just a really cool experience. I really enjoyed it.
Now, like you said, you got to play with a bunch of guys, meet a bunch of new guys. Is there
Mhm.
anyone that kind of stuck out as someone that maybe surprised you or was really impressive at the top prospects game?
Well, yeah, I think our captain, Berkeley Cadden on our team, he was really good, and it's cool to play on the same team as him. But yeah, there's a ton of really good players and a lot of talent on our team, and it was really cool playing with all of them.
Now, you've played in the OHL for a few years now. Who's been the toughest guy you've gone up against?
That's kind of tough. I would probably say Brant Clark on Barry, or actually, yeah, him. But I would also say just Ethan Del Mastro on our team. I think although he wasn't on another team, I played with him for a while. Just being able to kind of play against him in practice and things like that. He was a really tough defender, but he could also move really well, and he was yeah, just a really good player.
Now, it is your draft year, so we're looking ahead to the NHL a little bit. Is there a guy in the league that you kind of compare your game to or you try to model your game after?
I would say Jesper Bratt on New Jersey. He's a really skilled, really fast, kind of deceptive playmaker, and also has a good shot as well and can play well on both ends of the ice.
Now, going to the NHL, it's a dream come true for anybody. And a lot
Mhm.
of times you get to play up against some guys you idolized growing up. Is there one player or a couple of guys that you're really looking forward to playing up against possibly one day?
Well, yeah, definitely, I would say McDavid. He's just been like my favorite player to watch for so long. I first got to watch him when he was actually on Erie and Mississauga he played. And then just going on, I watched him against the Leafs too, and it would be, yeah, really cool to play against him.
All right, now let's jump into some video here. I've got this first play up for you. It's a really good job by you just kind of corralling the puck at the end of things. And making a really nice play in tight. So can you talk me through a play like this and what goes into it?
Well, yeah. So it was a good breakout by Marty and Goose, and then basically I was just kind of driving the net. Goose made or McDonelly made a really good kind of one-handed pass there, and it was so in tight that like the only really way to kind of bury that was to roof it, and that was just what I tried to do, is just get as high as I could, and it ended up pretty well.
Now, I think you'd consider yourself more of a playmaker, but your goal scoring touch has really improved this year, I'd say. What goes into a play like this in terms of just being able to score that goal when it's something that maybe wasn't always in your game last year?
Well, yeah, I would just say, well, my shot's something that I worked on a lot during the summer. Just kind of shooting a lot out in the backyard, and I think just kind of gaining the confidence from that, and just being able to shoot the puck more in games has really helped me. But for a goal like that, just kind of making sure I'm getting it quick off my stick and kind of putting it up really helped out a lot there.
All right, this next play I have for you here is against my hometown Windsor Spitfires. Again, just really nice play. You understand kind of how to attack the net, slipping down the wall here. What goes into something like this where you are kind of deceiving the defender and then just getting the puck to the front of the net?
Well, yeah. For that one, I basically kind of made a delay, passed up to the D. Um, he was able to get it back to me, and I saw the D was kind of approaching me, but a bit slower. So I tried making a bit of like a cut there to the outside, and use my body positioning to kind of keep going towards the net. And then Marty was in a great spot, and I was able to kind of get that to him, and he just put it away.
Now you've played the game with a lot of good guys this year. I think Porter Martone's one of the guys that it really sticks out when I've watched your guys' games in terms of the chemistry that you two have together. What's it been like playing with such a high end talent like that guy?
Well, yeah, he's just a really good scorer. He's kind of always like in the right spot at the right time, and I think me and him have had really good chemistry this year for sure. Because I mean, we just both play a really skilled game, and we kind of both play well off each other, and yeah, it's been good so far.
All right, this next clip I have for you here is against the Erie Otters. A really nice play by you tracking back defensively, kind of creates everything once the loose puck gets taken up by you guys. Ends up in a pretty passing play. Like I said, you're playmaker. What goes into a play like this? How does your vision work, and how do you work on something like this?
Well, yeah, so yeah, I was able to get that puck right off the back check, and then we had an odd man rush. And I saw that their D1 was taking Marty, and the other was taking Aggie, who was driving the net there. So Finn, one of the D, was actually, I heard him, and I knew he was kind of like in that kind of area behind me. So I was able to do a quick drop, and he finished it pretty well there.
Now, something I've seen about your game is you're a really creative passer. You'll be looking one way and then quickly shift and make the pass, similar to this play here. What goes into that deception aspect of your game?
Well, yeah, I think just kind of, well, for that play in particular, I think just kind of maybe using my like body line, or kind of like how my body's facing, maybe looking like you're gonna shoot it, but actually pass it instead there, or maybe you kind of like do a quick head fake and pass it. I think those are both things that have kind of helped with the deceptiveness of my game.
Now, the OHL is a really tough league. Where do you think you've grown as a player, strength wise, and in terms of where you still need to grow as you get towards the NHL level?
Well, I think over the past couple of years, I think the one of the main things for me has been, well, I've always had pretty good speed, but it's kind of just been kind of getting to more like the middle ice and being able to kind of generate shots towards the middle of the ice and kind of create a lot more like that. And it's something that I still try and improve on, and also just adding a bit of physicality to my game is something that I'm trying to improve on as well. But yeah, just being able to use my speed, and instead of kind of just staying around the outside, kind of getting towards the middle of the ice has helped out a lot.
All right, well, that's actually really convenient because this next play I have for you kind of displays your speed and the ability to kind of get to the middle of the ice and kind of just change the angle a little bit on defenders, making a nice pass there and then going towards the net yourself to draw some pressure away. What goes into a play like this, and how important is the transition game to you?
Well, yeah, just being able to get entries, either in the usually just getting entries in the O zone, super important for me. Just kind of getting in the zone with speed, and for a play like that, like I knew that it was first a 2-on-2, so I had to kind of see what I had. There wasn't a ton, so I stopped up a little bit and waited for the late guy to come in. he made a nice play, and then we ended up finishing the play. So
Now, one of the underrated aspects of a play like this, I think, is the moment where after you make that pass to the middle of the ice, you walk down the wall and you still kind of attack that backside of the net, drawing defenders and pressure away. How important is it for you to, like you mentioned, not stay on the outside, and even if you're not getting the puck back, draw that pressure and get to the net?
well, yeah, that's super important, especially like in a play like that, but just in general, just getting always like as soon as you make a play, just always keep moving, and whether that's towards the net or going another way. But yeah, it's always for me a big part of my game to just keep moving after I make a play and kind of attract defenders certain ways, which can kind of help create offense.
Now, this next play I have is against your brother's team
Mhm.
in Saginaw. You make a really nice play to pick off the pass, and then you end up making a really nice play into the offensive zone. What goes into something like that in just understanding how to read the defender and on their breakout?
Well, that was probably one of the quickest goals that we scored there. That was just kind of get on quick forecheck. Being able to kind of strip pucks from guys is a big part of my game, and yeah, just being able to take the puck quickly off there and make a quick play to Marty, and he was able to put in the back of the net. So yeah.
Now, you mentioned that it was one of the quicker goals you scored. How important is it for you to get involved in the game right away? I know some guys like to go try to make a hit. Some guys try to steal the puck like this and may get a chance on net. What is it that you do to start the game to try to get yourself involved?
Yeah, I would say just being able to just play with a lot of pressure, get on pucks really quick, whether that's getting on the forecheck really quick and being able to kind of force defenders to make bad plays, or just being able to kind of make a good play in the D zone. Just yeah, just kind of getting my legs going and being able to kind of play with a lot of pressure helps me at the beginning.
Now, that, like I said, that was a game against your brother's team. How special is it to kind of go up against him, compete against him in the OHL, and kind of put yourself up against him?
Well, yeah, it's really cool. Just really cool, especially for not just for us, but also for our family. It's yeah, you. There's not a lot of games because he's in the other conference. We only play each other twice. But every time we do, it's a really exciting game for both of us, and all our family comes out, and yeah, it's just really cool moment.
Now, I don't have this on me, but do you happen to have the record between you and your brother going head to head? Is that something you guys keep track of, or do you kind of keep that
Um,
that stuff
well,
off to the
yeah,
side?
this year was 1-1. We won at home, and then they won at home. And we won at home. But I'm trying to think. Last year, um, I think it was 1-1 as well. So I think 2-2 total. Yeah,
That's not too bad. You guys are two pretty good players, so it makes sense
yeah.
that you're pretty even there. This last shift I have for you here, it's a nice play where you end up getting a goal, a little bit off balance. Not always the easiest thing to do to score when you're not really in a shooter's position, but you manage to here. What goes into making a play like this where you are kind of shooting off the back foot?
Well, yeah. I think that's just being able to kind of just show how I've improved my shot. I think that it has improved a lot. And I think that's just a good example of me just being able to kind of finish up top, because I knew that we were on a rush here. So I knew that the goalie was going to be shifting over to the other side as soon as I got that. So I was able to kind of just get it over his shoulder there. And yeah, it ended up being a goal. So it was good.
Now, you said you work on your shot a lot. Is there a lot of strength work that you've done this offseason to try to improve that, or is it strictly just in the room shooting?
I would say actually a bit of both. Well, I would say a bit of both. But yeah, my off ice strength is definitely like one of my main keys that I was trying to improve over this summer to this year. And yeah, I think just getting stronger has helped a lot of areas in my game. Like I think it's helped my skating and definitely my shot as well. So yeah.
Now, this is your draft year, so how much attention have you been paying to the draft coverage, whether it's the rankings or lists that come out?
Well, yeah, I've seen some lists come out, but I try not to kind of be too focused on lists and kind of all that, because I feel like there still is you're just trying to focus on game by game and not try and look too ahead. But yeah, for me, it's just being always dialed in mentally and just focused on kind of each game.
Now, last hockey question before we get some stuff off the ice. When you talk to NHL scouts this year and they ask, why should we draft you? What's your answer going to be?
I would say I'm a really kind of competitive, disciplined player who is comes to the rink every day willing to learn, and is coachable, but is also just super competitive and is constantly wanting to improve every day. Yeah.
All right, now to get away from hockey, what career path would you be going down if it wasn't the hockey one?
Oh, I think I'm a like creative person with my ideas, and I think that maybe something to do with being an entrepreneur and maybe creating your own business is something that would interest me. I'm not sure exactly like what sector it would be in, but probably being, yeah, an entrepreneur.
All right, now if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I would probably say just being able to fly.
That's a good one. I think that's a popular one amongst
Yeah.
people. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, my favorite cheat meal. I like recently, well, there's a Chick-fil-A at our at the mall in Mississauga Square One, and uh I like that. Yeah. I like the chicken sandwich there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is a weakness of mine as well. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Um, I would say Tom Brady. I would say probably Wayne Gretzky and hmm, maybe one more athlete. I would maybe do Tiger Woods. Three
That's
athletes.
it's a good tree of three
Yeah.
goats there.
Yeah.
What music are you listening to right now?
I listen to a lot of different stuff. I like some of the country. I like a bit of rap. Um, but yeah, it's kind of just a big mix of things right now. Yeah.
Now, did you go to a concert this summer? Which one was your favorite? Anything?
Yeah, I went to two concerts last summer. I went to at Budweiser Stage in Toronto. I went to a Zach Brown band concert, which was
Nice.
good. I really liked that one. It was actually my first concert that I went to, so I really liked that. And then I also went to like a country festival during the summer. It was
Mm.
called Boots and Hearts.
Yeah.
It's in Barrie, and that was a really good time as well.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song? Something that maybe you don't listen to around the boys, but when you're alone at home or in the car, you don't mind putting on?
Um, trying to think. Um, I don't know if I have one that comes to mind right now. Maybe maybe like Taylor Swift. I'm not sure which one by her. There's a couple ones that by her, but maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of Taylor Swift that's played in my household too, and
Yeah.
I'm not always opposed to it. Let's just say that. Let's finish off here with do you have a movie recommendation or a TV show recommendation?
Yeah, I would say one TV show that I really liked was Prison Break. Um, I'd say that one and also Money Heist were two really good series that I watched, and yeah, they're both a little bit similar where they're guys trying to like break out. One was trying to break out of jail, one's trying to like get a like rob the bank, and they're just both really cool. Just being able to see all the strategy behind it.
All right, I really appreciate you doing this, Luke. This was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.